Star Trek Discovery, Season 5, Episode 9, the penultimate episode of Season 5. Also, the penultimate episode of the entire series is here.
How exciting.
Yeah. I kind of think the writers forgot how to build really up to the end. Because this show was kind of dull and a little longer than it needed to be.
That's what she said.
Now, admittedly, in prior Star Trek series, the last episode was not preceded by one that really built up to it. You know, I think back on the one, I can remember TNG, of course, All Good Things was preceded by an episode, I believe it's called Preemptive Strike. It was actually a really good episode featuring the return of Ensign Rowe and involved the Maquis, which is actually a pretty good episode, but really didn't lead into the All Good Things episode. I don't remember Voyager being the same way, neither with Enterprise. Probably DS9 actually did have one lead into it, if I recall correctly, because they were wrapping up an overall storyline. You know, they were wrapping up the Dominion War. There's a level of excitement building up because they were telling a story overall throughout the series, throughout the last season, which is kind of what STD's been doing here, telling one overarching story. So you expect a lot of excitement and everything, but this kind of just fell flat. So first off, we do start off with seeing Doug Jones return as Saru. And I may have said it in the beginning, I like Doug Jones. I think he's a good actor. I've enjoyed a lot of the stuff he's been in. I think he's kind of lucky that he got spared having too much to do this season.
Lucky.
So Saru shows back up in his ambassadorial role, has some interaction with his fiance, Trina, I don't know, forget the pronunciation. And ultimately he's there to negotiate with the Breen. Breen, Primarch, who's actually familiar to Captain Rayner. I'm gonna call him Captain Rayner because I think he was demoted improperly. Captain Rayner, when Rayner's planet was occupied by the Breen. So that's pretty much Doug Jones' role. That's what Saru does. It's in and out throughout the episode. It's nice. He's there for the end. But the majority of this episode involves obtaining the progenitor device, which, as we find in the beginning of the show, is located exactly in the middle of two black holes. Yeah, Discovery jumps in and finds the progenitor device in what's called the Lagrange point. I forget how it's pronounced, but it's like an equidistant point between the two black holes where this device is perfectly stationary. So, they're very excited to show up there and finally find the device, and they beat the Breen. And now it's like, yeah, a little bit of excitement. How are we going to get this out? Because they put this device in the center of two black holes, which means there's this giant gravitational force holding it there. I wonder, can the Discovery have the power to pull it out? Probably as they're thinking about this, guess what happens? The Breen show up and literally just yank the thing right out of there.
The Breen have it.
So just think about this. The Breen are powerful enough to literally yank a small device the size of a shuttlecraft from between the gravitational force of two black holes. Just think about that. Their technological advancement, while Discovery was sitting there just sort of pondering it, because that may call into question a few things later on in this episode. So now we know the Breen, under the command of Maul, for some godforsaken reason. I still don't get why Maul has commanded some level of authority. I mean, literally, yeah, she's the widow of the dude who is related to the last emperor, but she's not even Breen. And for some reason, I guess they're putting up with it. I don't know. It's just a bad storyline. And I don't think the actress, I'm certain she's a nice person. She's probably a lovely person, but she's not pulling this off. She's very clearly just this poor ass Harley Quinn cosplay wannabe injecting modern language and sensibilities into how her characters acts. It's not realistic. It's not realistic for any way that some super advanced, completely alien society would fall in line and follow her as the leader. Whatever. They still try to get into the device, and because of course she wants to resurrect her dead boyfriend. I'm sorry, dead husband, Locke. You know, the Scion, which has some significance. That's all she cares about. So she's trying to figure this out. Sends a bunch of Breen towards a bright light in the open device, and they kind of get sucked into God knows where. Back on the Discovery, Burnham and her crew are trying to figure out how to get this device back. And, you know, they meet in I guess, the conference room and discuss options. You know, that's kind of classic Star Trek, particularly with Picard and Next Generation, where they all shoot around ideas. And ultimately, Captain Mikey comes to the realization, we're going to steal it back.
And that's what we'll have to do.
Yeah, so basically this is a heist show, and this is not unusual. I remember back in Kirk and Spock time, they tried to steal a Romulan cloaking device, and I think it was called the Enterprise Incident. Spock went on board to flirt with a Romulan commander while, Kirk put on his best Romulan ears and sneaked on board and stole a cloaking device. So that's sort of the plan we have here. Burnham and some of her crew are going to sneak on board and steal the device. So, you know, this is kind of Ocean's 11, except let's just call it Burnham's 4. And who's in Burnham's 4? Well, first off, it's Captain Mikey herself, who's come up with this plan, literally, as far as I can tell, on the spot out of nowhere.
We'll need 2 teams.
Of course, Book, because you can't leave your boyfriend behind. Adira, because she's fastest at deciphering computer language. And what the heck is that dude's name? Commander Rhys? Commander Rhys. And legitimately, everyone thinks this plan is kind of crazy.
This is insane.
Maybe.
It really kind of is. The whole plan is we're just going to put on a bunch of Breen uniforms that we have somehow. We're going to use the universal translator to speak to the Breen and just work our way through and steal the device.
That's the plan?
That's the plan.
Now, mind you, this is the race who use their tunneling device to almost take out the Eternal Library. Just literally stole the progenitor device from between 2 black holes. And they're going to get fooled by a bunch of people in costumes, barking orders through a translator.
Not a great plan.
While Mikey's 4, jaunt off to steal the progenitor device, we have to leave someone in charge of the ship. So, of course, that's going to be Commander Rayner. No, you know what? Again, like I say, Captain Rayner, I'm going to restore him to his command rank because I think he deserves it. But he needs a first officer. And what I think clearly must him having like a stroke or something, he chooses Tilly.
Tilly, I'll ask that you serve as my acting first officer.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Very good.
I know some people think their interaction is cute and adorable. I find Tilly just grating. I find her to be unrepresentative of any character in Starfleet, and probably a self-insert for whatever writer came up with her.
Right? Could I? No, it's not. It's not feasible. Is it?
But yeah, she's there to provide some counterbalance, I guess, to our gruff Captain Rayner, who's just reluctant to take the seat of command. So Mikey's 4 journey off, get in a cloaked shuttle, and drive towards the exhaust on the Breen Dreadnought, and then beam on board.
1.
We then get a bunch of sequences where, you know, they're working their way through the ship. Mikey and her boyfriend go off on their own because, of course, Mikey wants to hang out with her boyfriend. And, you know, Adira and Rhys go off to the bridge to try to, you know, infiltrate the computers so that they can release whatever shields or protective devices and steal the device. Now, again, like I say, there are some weird interactions that happen. For some reason, I guess the plan involves basically if you encounter a Breen that acts funny towards you, just shout at the Breen aggressively in an angry fashion.
You pathetic awkworm!
I don't understand how this works, but apparently it does. So while the Breen have this incredible technology that they're able to yank things from the center of between two gravitational vortexes of black holes, they're so fucking stupid that shouting at them makes them cow like, you know, babies or some damn thing. It's sloppy writing, it's stupid writing, and it just is dumb. You know, it's also dumb. In the middle of this whole operation where they're trying to steal back the device, you know what's it time for? You know what? I think it's time for a heart-to-heart between Mikey and Book.
Come here. There's something I need to tell you.
Yeah, they literally go off to the side and discuss the relationship. I don't even remember. Did they say we may die in this? And does Burnham even say we may die on this? So I just want to let you know I still love you. Did she even say that? I don't think she did.
I felt like I failed. And it was just easier to turn away.
But I guess, you know, one of the things the writers like to focus on is relationships in Star Trek Discovery, which is why we have, you know, a little bit of exploration into Saru and Tarina, Mikey and Book. And we get a little bit of the familial relationship with Adira and Stamets and Culber. Yeah, before Adira went on the away mission, it was literally like they were sending off their child to go to college. Just, we're so proud of you. We're happy for you. You're going to do great.
Proud of you. Also nervous.
Of course, the last relationship we cannot forget about is the relationship of Captain Raynor with the rest of the crew. Yeah, remember, he's that bristly kind of guy that no one likes because he's just so stuffy and doesn't like open up with his feelings. No, he's just a real Starfleet officer. So we get some interaction on the bridge. Still, he won't sit in the chair for some reason. I still don't get this. Why he's afraid to sit in the chair. I don't know if it's because he lost his last command, but everyone on the bridge makes an issue of it for some reason.
Is it just me or does he never sit in the captain's chair?
Avoids it like the plague. We've all noticed.
And then, of course, our camp counselor, Tilly, tries to engage Raynor in a little bit of pep talk.
Captain Burnham should trust you to lead us. We all do.
And why Raynor would need a pep talk from a 10-year officer is insane.
That is, unless you gave me more of that warm and fuzzy encouragement that I don't need.
But, you know, Tilly connects with the people, I guess. Jesus Christ, these fucking writers. Can't you write a goddamn Star Trek episode? There's 400 of them. Go watch them. I've done it multiple times. Find out how this is done. So, we get to the part where we're finally going to steal the device, because this is a long episode that could have been done in 20 minutes. This is literally, most of the season, these episodes come in 30-minute episodes, like Mando style. Be done with it. Unfortunately, they get to the Book and Mikey get to the device, and, you know, Book, oh God, he literally flirts with one of the Breen to distract the Breen from Mikey trying to break into the device or release the device.
Hey, so, do you know who you're going with? Maybe we could,
Wow, flirting, bold move.
I don't know why we would do this. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Unfortunately, Mikey and Book get found out. You know, if we were lucky, they'd get caught and killed, but that doesn't happen.
Not so dead after all.
So Maul finds them out, goes down and then confronts them, and the jig is up. But fortunately, Mikey's been in constant communication with the Discovery and gives a secret coded message to Captain Raynor.
Asuka. It's a message. She's sending me a message.
I think this relates to some Kelleron poem or story that we talked about before, but Raynor kind of gets the message and decides he's got a plan. So what Raynor does is he's going to basically fly the Discovery through the cargo hold of the Dreadnought, break through the shields, and then beam up the device and the away team. You know what? It kind of looks cool. I don't know how realistic it is in terms of Star Trek physics and everything, but it's a cool scene. So he does break through. He's about to beam it up. Maul jumps into the device because she's going to figure out where the progenitors are. At the same time, she's carrying along a pattern buffer.
A portable pattern buffer.
Once we find the tech, learning how to use it could take time. This will preserve Locke's body until then.
Now, the pattern buffer contains the transported pattern of Locke. So she hopes, obviously, whatever she finds in there will regenerate Locke and bring him back to life. Mikey, who also knows the key to everything.
In the mindscape, I was told that there would be another obstacle inside of it, and I got information on how to beat it.
Since she was told that in the last episode, also jumps in to the giant green light on the device. And that's the episode. That's it. That was, let me check how long this total episode was. That was 45 minutes. Oh, yeah. Raynor sits down in the chair.
Let's do this.
So, yeah, 45 minutes. Some awkwardness, some weird exchanges, which, again, as I've pointed out throughout prior reviews of this show, do not really seem to represent 32nd century style of talk. It's too 21st century, sometimes even 20th century. We're about the same. It all kind of mixes together, let's be honest. But I don't think the writers are creative enough to find a way to really create a sense of they're in the future, literally 1100 years from now. Everyone acts like someone you'd meet on the street today. But, I guess you write what you know. And if you can't be imaginative, that's what you write. Just put it in a Starfleet uniform. So, yeah, that was the episode. Very exciting, I think you would say.
Sarcasm.
Yes.
You can't obviously sense the sarcasm dripping off my voice. But Raynor's the only good thing in the episode. It just, him even sitting in the chair looks better. Can we just have a Captain Raynor TV show? Let's do that. You know what? Let's somehow bring together Captain Raynor and Todd Stashwick. Yeah, let's do that.
We've engaged. I want to know with who and why. Oh, you boys are in so much trouble.
I don't even care how we do it. Break whatever canon we want. I just want to see Todd Stashwick and Caleb Keith Rennie being two crusty Starfleet captains on a bridge together. Let's just do a special. Do it. I don't know. Find the Guardian of Forever. I don't give a shit. I'd watch that over this crap. Oh God. All right. One more episode left. This one's a 90-minute episode. Certain it's going to wrap up every storyline in a completely satisfactory way that makes every STD fan just, happy and elated that all their favoriteest characters got the treatment they deserved. Until next time, questions, comments, witticisms down below. Click all those good buttons. See you guys later.